What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Friday, September 25th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Bill Cosby could be on his way to yet another deposition. Attorneys for model Janice Dickinson, who's suing Cosby for defamation, have filed papers seeking to depose the scandal-plagued comedian along with his attorney Martin Singer. Dickinson's lawyers are asking for a stay of discovery to be lifted so they can prove malice on Cosby and Singer's part in order to refute an anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss the case filed by Cosby's team. Dickinson contends Cosby's agents defamed her by making public comments against Dickinson, a liar, branding her as a liar. In a declaration filed with the Los Angeles Superior Court this week, Caprina Valleciccio, an attorney with former representing Dickinson, said, "I'm informed and believe that when forced to answer questions under oath about his predatory behavior, Mr. Cosby had admitted to drugging women for the purpose of having sex with them. Yet he has often branded his victims as liars through his attorneys." Earlier this year, Cosby's deposition from a lawsuit brought by former Temple University employee Andrea Constant was released to the media and revealed multiple bombshells, including Cosby's admission that he had acquired quaaludes to give women what he wanted to sleep with. Constant's suit was settled in 2005, but has come back into the spotlight due to a defamation lawsuit filed by 3 other Cosby accusers. Dickinson filed suit against Cosby in May, claiming that the model had suffered defamation and emotional distress resulting from denials by Cosby's representatives of her claims that the comedian sexually assaulted her. Dickinson's complaint reads, "Defendant Cosby knows that he drugged and raped Miss Dickinson. He knew that calling her rape disclosure a lie was a false statement." In addition to the deposition sought by Dickinson's lawyers, the comedian has ordered to sit for a deposition on October 9th filed by accuser Judy Huff, attorney Gloria Aldridge said in August. Huff claims Cosby committed sexual misconduct against her at the Playboy Mansion when she was 15 years old. Over the past year, dozens of women have come forward to accuse Cosby of sexual assault or rape, with many of them claiming that Cosby drugged them beforehand. Cosby's attorneys have denied such allegations in the past. However, he has suffered a number of career setbacks in light of the accusations, including NBC axing a comedy project that it was developing for the comedian. Just 2 days after abruptly announcing that he's resigning from Congress, House Speaker John Boehner will participate in a live interview with CBS Sunday morning news show Face the Nation. The 13-term Ohio Republican, who said Friday at the end of October he will step down from his current position in Congress altogether, will sit down with moderator John Dickerson, CBS announced shortly after news of Boehner's resignation plans broke. A story on the Face the Nation website says Dickerson will ask Boehner why he decided to leave, a move that surprised many of his colleagues and others in the GOP, and whether Pope Francis's visit to the Capitol, which occurred just a day before Boehner's broke the news, influenced his decision at all. Pope Francis was the first pontiff to address Congress, and Boehner, a Catholic, had long sought to get the church leaders to Washington. Boehner was also facing the threat of a floor vote on whether he could stay on as Speaker, a former challenge that hasn't happened in over 100 years, and a move being pushed by members of Congress who believe Boehner wasn't pushing hard enough to defund Planned Parenthood, even though doing so risked a government shutdown. Boehner told a news conference several hours after announcing his plans to his staff, "It's become clear to me that this prolonged leadership turmoil will do irreparable damage to the institution. There was never any doubt I could survive the vote, but I didn't want my members to go through this. I didn't want this institution to go through this." Boehner, who took over as Speaker of the House in January 2011, said he planned to announce in November that he would resign at the end of the year, but had not said so publicly, the Associated Press reported. After the emotional meeting with the Pope on Thursday, Boehner woke up Friday morning and decided now was the time, the Associated Press reported. It's unknown who will succeed Boehner, but the number 2 House Republican Kevin McCarthy is a top candidate. Boehner said that the decision of who will replace him is up to the Republicans, but said McCarthy would make a good, excellent speaker. Other guests set for Sunday's Face the Nation includes Republican presidential candidate John Kasich, who served with Boehner in Congress for years and will talk about the presidential race and Boehner's move, and Democratic presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders, who will talk about whether he can sustain his campaign's momentum. The show will also feature a political panel with CBS News congressional correspondent Nancy Cortez, Wall Street Journal columnist Kim Strassel, the Washington Post Ed O'Keefe, and USA Today's Susan Page. And what could be another sign of Trump fatigue? The billionaire Manhattan developer drew major jeers while trying to poke fun at fellow presidential candidate Marco Rubio in front of conservative activists on Friday. Trump said to boos from the audience at the Value Voters Summit in Washington, D.C., "You have this clown Marco Rubio. I've been so nice to him. I've been so nice. And then, no, but he's in favor of immigration, and he has been. It was the Gang of Eight, and you remember the Gang of Eight. It was terrible." The Gang of Eight is a common colloquialism for the bipartisan group of 8 senators who wrote the 2013 Comprehensive Immigration Reform Bill. Rubio is just the latest in a long list of Trump targets. The Florida senator who received a positive reception at the gathering earlier in the day took his own jab at the GOP frontrunner. Rubio said Donald Trump has had a bad week. Carly Fiorina embarrassed him on stage and he's not reacting well to it. This campaign is not about him. This campaign is about America. When asked about the boos following his speech, Trump said they were cheers. To be fair, it's hard to tell whether the crowd was booing Trump or Rubio. Girl star Lena Dunham's interview with Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton strayed from the big issues and landed on something even bigger, Lenny Kravitz's junk. In an interview from her news site, LennyLetter.com, Dunham asked Clinton if she saw the viral video of Kravitz splitting his pants on stage, which exposed little Lenny to the world. Clinton claims, "No, I missed that. Do you think I could get that on YouTube? I'll look for that." In a previously released clip, Clinton says that she is puzzled by women who do not identify as feminists. She says, "I'm hoping that people will not be afraid to say that doesn't mean you hate men. It doesn't mean you want to separate out of the world so you're not part of an ordinary life. That's not what it means at all," she said. "It just means that we believe that women have the same rights as men politically, culturally, socially, and economically." LennyLetter.com, created by Dunham and Girls executive producer Jennifer Connor, launches on September 29th. According to Politico, the full interview will cover other topics like student debt and women's health. Kim Davis, the county clerk in Kentucky who jailed for refusing to issue marriage license to same-sex couples, has perhaps shockingly decided to become a Republican. Davis revealed to Reuters on Friday that she, along with her family, switched party affiliations from Democrat to Republican last week. The controversial figure said that she made the change after realizing that the Democratic Party no longer represents her. Davis told Reuters in Washington, where she was in town to be honored by the Family Research Council, "My husband and I have talked about it for quite a while, and we came to the conclusion that the Democratic Party left us a long time ago, so why were we hanging on?" Davis was jailed for 5 days earlier this month after she refused to recognize U.S. District Judge David Bunny's order to issue licenses for gay couples in accordance with the U.S. Supreme Court's June ruling that made gay marriage legal throughout the country. But while Davis has now aligned herself with the Republicans, don't expect to see her stumbling for any of the current GOP presidential candidates. She says the notion of campaigning for Republicans is kind of far-fetched. When director Michael Moore addressed the audience inside the Prince of Wales Theatre in Toronto before the world premiere of his next documentary, Where to Invade Next, he name-dropped Meryl Streep with good intentions and helped draw attention to the actress's plea to help push through the long-dormant Equal Rights Amendment, which calls for equal pay for women in the U.S. Streep already has mentioned it during a Telluride Film Fest panel for Suffragette, saying how her letter to all 535 members of Congress were ignored. In doing so, Moore received attention from another actress, one who made waves with her 2015 Best Actress Oscar speech calling for wage equality. Moore told The Hollywood Reporter, hinting a future endeavor, "I got a lovely email from Patricia Arquette. Can't say any more about it right now. I will just say that I believe change is a coming in America. When change happens for women, one of the big beneficiaries of it are you and I. I'm very optimistic and very hopeful." The director also had a positive perspective on his relationship with Streep. He said, "We are friendly and she has been a fan and a supporter. That's safe to state. When I was booed at the Oscars in 2003 when I won for Bowling for Columbine, I remember her. She was down front. When the booing started up in the balcony from the sponsors mostly, she whipped around like, 'Who is doing that?' I can still see her face." He also added, "I talked to her a year later and I asked her what she was doing that night. She said that she uh, wanted to know who was booing. I have a total admiration for her. She's the real deal." A Saudi prince was arrested at a gated Los Angeles compound after allegedly trying to correct a worker in the home into performing a sex act on him, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. Majed Abdulaziz Al Saud, 28, was arrested Wednesday on suspicion of forced copulation with an adult, a Los Angeles police spokesperson told The Hollywood Reporter. The Los Angeles Times was first to report the news. The arrest took place at an estate within the gated Beverly Glen community located on Wallingford Drive after a caretaker in the home called police. The prince was booked and released on $300,000 bail on Thursday. Police say Assaud, who is renting the home, does not have diplomatic immunity in this situation, the Times reported. Radio disc jockey Bubba the Love Sponge is getting the squeeze put on him over alleged rating tamperings. The controversial radio DJ, perhaps best known for recording a sex tape between his then wife Heather Clem and pro wrestler Hulk Hogan, is being investigated by his company Beasley Media Group. Media ratings firm Nielsen is also looking into the matter. Beasley told the Wrap in a statement, "We have been made aware of the allegations and are in the process of investigating. We have no additional comments at this time." Nielsen issued its own statement on Friday. They said, "We became aware of evidence of attempted ratings distortion activities in the Tampa market. We are working to resolve this issue and will provide additional details when they become available." Nielsen is committed to maintaining the highest standards of data integrity and acts swiftly to ensure that those standards are upheld. The DJ, whose real name is Todd Allen Clem, was dropped by Coax Media last August and signed with Beasley Media Group, which changed the format of its station 98.7 WHFS FM to Bubba 98.7 No Rules Radio. It is unclear whether Clem will remain on the station while the investigation is underway. Clem told local affiliate Fox 13 on Friday that he wasn't aware of the allegations and was off the air on Friday undergoing medical treatment following a fall. Sigourney Weaver will appear in the Ghostbusters reboot, according to a tweet from director Paul Feig. It is unclear if the actress who appeared in the original two films will be reprising her role as Dana Barrett. Weaver joins Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, who also starred in Ghostbusters in 1984 and Ghostbusters 2 in 1989, as returnees to the franchise, which Sony is rebooting with a female bent. Feig's film stars Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Chris Hemsworth. It hits theaters on July 22, 2016. Original cast member Ernie Hudson also shot a cameo. The film recently wrapped production in Boston. Weaver, who will star in the next 3 Avatar films, most recently appeared in Chappie and Exodus: God and Kings. Mistress is coming back for more. ABC has renewed the drama for a 4th season, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. However, the series will return without new star Jennifer Esposito, who is departing after 1 season. Esposito was brought on in season 3 to replace Alyssa Milano, who exited the series when production moved from Los Angeles to Vancouver, Canada. Jason George, who will also not be returning because of his obligations to another ABC drama, Grey's Anatomy. After recurring for several seasons, George was promoted to series regular on the Shonda Rhimes Helm medical series over the summer. Yoongjin Kim, Rochelle Aites, Jess McCallan, Brett Tucker, and Rob Mays will return. Based on the UK television series Mistress, is executive produced by Rena Minim, K.J. Steinberg, Robert Sterner, and Douglas Ray. The series hails from ABC Studios. Mistress proves a steady performer for the network over the summer, even after losing its prime time Monday time slot following The Bachelorette and moving to Thursdays. ABC has yet to make a decision on the remainder of its summer scripted lineup that also includes freshman entries Astronaut Wives Club and The Whispers, as well as Canadian drama Rookie Blue. TNT's Proof will not be coming back for a second season. The Turner-owned cable network had canceled Jennifer Beals drama from producer Kara Sedgwick after one season. Proof was a procedural centered on a skeptical hard science female surgeon played by Beals who struggled with family issues, including a tragic death. She investigates cases of reincarnation, out-of-body experiences, and hauntings in a quest to find verifiable proof to answer one of life's biggest questions: is death the end, or is there something beyond? Rob Bragin from Geek penned the pilot and executive produced alongside Sedgwick and her manager Jill Littman and producer Tom Jacobson. The drama reunited TNT with Sedgwick following her 7-season run on The Closer. The Elwer alum Beals, Matthew Modine, and Scandal's Joe Morton also star. The series debuted in June to 2.7 million total viewers and ended its 10-episode run August 18th with 2.1 million. The series just never took off with critics or viewers in a way that matched TNT's other summer fare, such as The Last Ship, Rosalie and Isles, etc. TNT, meanwhile, has yet to make a decision on Major Crimes or the Ed Burns drama Public Morals, the latter of which was picked up with Proof. The cable network, under new executive Kevin Riley, has been looking for edgier fare in the bid to compete with networks like FX. Cable's rosters of originals also includes Legends, Murder in the First, The Librarians, Agent X, and Transported the series. On the pilot side, the company has a reboot of featured Animal Kingdom, the Michelle Dockery drama Good Behavior, Will, Home, among others. Michael Sam could very well still be playing in the NFL had he not come out as gay, the former St. Louis Ram told sportscaster Dan Patrick on Friday. Sam, who played defensive end at the University of Missouri before being drafted into the NFL, told Patrick becoming a media spectacle was never a part of his plan and may have hurt his first shot at professional football. Sam said, "I wanted to come out after I made an NFL roster. It wasn't really supposed to be public." He said on the Dan Patrick Show during a 13-minute interview, "It was just supposed to be to the team, as I did at the University of Missouri." But some reporters were aware of his sexuality, and Sam feared they would break the news, which he wanted to do on his own terms, he said. Sam says, "I wanted to be the one to tell my own story. I didn't want someone telling it for me." Sam, who was the recipient of the 2014 Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Then Patrick asked Sam if coming out hurt his professional career. Sam replied, "I'm not going to say, but it probably would have been better for me if I didn't come out. I would have been on the roster. But as I said, I have no regrets whatsoever." Sam was cut by the Rams before the start of the 2014 regular season, having been beat for a roster spot by Ethan Westbrooks. From there, he was claimed by the Dallas Cowboys for their practice squad, but ultimately cut again. Sam had a short stint on the California Football League before returning to the University of Missouri to pursue a master's degree. Sam, who considers himself to be a damn good football player, says he still wants to play in the NFL and is training for that opportunity. Russian President Vladimir Putin has spoken on the phone with British pop star Sir Elton John, telling him that they can meet in the future and that John shouldn't be upset about last week's phone prank when a Russian comedian called him pretending to be Putin. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesman, said Putin called John, said, "I know that you were pranked by phone comics, but you shouldn't be angry with them. They are harmless, although they don't justify their actions." Quoting as saying by the Russian news agency RIA Novosti. And Pesky went on to say, and Putin says that he knows how popular a singer Elton John is, and if in the future their schedules connect, he'll be ready to have a meeting with John and discuss whatever issues that are of interest. 10 days ago, John told the BBC that he would like to meet with Putin to discuss the Russian president's ridiculous stance on gay rights. The Kremlin's initial response was that there was no plans for such a meeting. A few days later, comics Lexus and Voivan called John, and Krasnov pretended to be Putin. John fell for the prank, and when it was discovered, he said he was happy to be pranked, as the incident put vital LGBT issues in the spotlight. John has been long concerned with the LGBT rights situations in Russia and raised the issue during his recent concerts in Moscow and St. Petersburg. The Late Late Show host, James Corden, has disclosed a side project in the music business. The host of The Late Late Show has teamed up with popular British artist Disclosure to executive produce the Brothers' Los Angeles concert on September 29th at Los Angeles Sports Arena. Disclosure, the electronic music act comprised of siblings Howard and Guy Lawrence, will perform songs from their sophomore album Caracol, marking their first live show featuring the new set of songs. Their collaboration with Corden isn't limited to the live show. The trio have teamed with American Express as the next pairing in the live stream music series American Express Unstage in partnerships with Vivo and U2. The show will be live streamed at amexunstage.com and via the Unstage app. Corden and the Guy brothers also sat for an exclusive interview and a clip from their chat. Disclosure inspiration behind Caracol. Actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt lended his vocal cords to Jimmy Fallon's barbershop quartet, the Ragtime Gals, on Thursday's The Tonight Show. The group treated viewers to a lovely Quante rendition of Rihanna's Bitch Better Have My Money. Gordon-Levitt's solo in the middle comes complete with a few dance moves so edgy Fallon had to rein him in. The actor is promoting his new film The Walk, about Philip Petit's high-wire act through the Twin Towers. And now let's look at the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of October 3rd. Number 10, Major Lazer and DJ Snake featuring M0 with Lean On. Number 9, Drake with Hotline Bling. Number 8, Omi with Cheerleader. Number 7, Fetty Wap featuring the Remy Boys with 679. Number 6, R City featuring Adam Levine with Locked Away. Number 5, Selena Gomez featuring A$AP Rocky with Good For You. Number 4, Silento with Watch Me. Number 3, The Weeknd with Can't Feel My Face. Number 2, Justin Bieber with What Do You Mean? And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of October 3rd is The Weeknd with The Hills. And now let's look back at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1970, The Partridge Family premieres on ABC television. Unwilling to rest as a one-hit wonder when its first big hit, The Monkees, went off the air in 1968, the television production company Screen Gems wasted no time in trying to repeat its success. On this date in 1970, in the 8:30 p.m. time slot immediately following the Brady Bunch, ABC premiered a program that would give Screen Gems its second TV-to-pop chart smash, The Partridge Family. If the Beatles served as the inspiration for the Monkees, it was the real-life family act The Cotswolds that inspired the Screen Gems to dream up the Partridge Family. Originally made up of 4 teenage brothers, Bill, Bob, Barry, and John, the Cotswolds scored their first top 40 hit with The Rain, The Park, and Other Things in 1967 after adding their mother to the lineup. They earned 3 more hits in 1968 with We Can Fly, Indian Lake, and Hair after adding 2 additional younger siblings. And then it was in this configuration that they caught the eyes of the folks at Screen Gems. In fact, Screen Gems approached the Cotswold family about having the children star in the show that would eventually become the Partridge Family, but the family demurred when it learned that actress Shirley Jones, not Barbara Caswell, would be playing the role of Shirley Partridge. Undaunted, Screen Gems hired 4 non-singing child actors for the roles of Lori, Danny, Chris, and Tracy Partridge, and 1 future teen idol, David Cassidy, for the role of Keith. In the pilot episode, the Partridge Family, the 5 children of a widowed single mother, convinced their mother to join them in their garage recording sessions, and they watched their first record, I Think I Love You, become a #1 pop hit. In a case not so much of life imitating art as of a brilliant marketing machine replicating its earlier success, the song I Think I Love You raced to the top of the real-life pop charts less than 2 months after its television debut. However, hits like I Think I Love You and I Woke Up in Love This Morning were not actually recorded by a 5 sibling and their mom in the garage. The Partridge Family's hits were recorded by some of the best professional musicians working in Los Angeles at the time, including drummer Hal Blaine and the studio musicians known as the Wrecking Crew. The Partridge Family did, however, launch David Cassidy on a short-lived career as an actual pop singer, and it's also, according to news reports, inspired some misguided runaways to show up on Shirley Jones's Beverly Hills lawn in the hopes that she might adopt them into her television family. Also on this date in 1980, John Bonham, the legendary drummer of Led Zeppelin, dies. The day before his death, Bonham was picked up by Led Zeppelin assistant Rex King to attend rehearsals at Bray Studios for a tour of North America beginning October 17th in Montreal, the band's first since 1977. During the journey, Bonham asked to stop for breakfast, where he drank 4 quadruple vodkas. He then drank after arriving at rehearsals. The band stopped rehearsing late in the evening and then retired to Page's house, the Old Mill House, Jimmy Page's house, the Old Mill House in Clutter, Windsor. After midnight on September 25th, Bonham fell asleep. Someone took him to bed and placed him on his side. Benji LaVere, Led Zeppelin's tour manager, and John Paul Jones found him dead the next afternoon. He was 32 years old. In the inquest released on October 27, 1980, it showed that in 24 hours, Bonham had drunk around 40 shots of 40% ABV vodka, after which he vomited and choked. The finding was accidental death. An autopsy found no other drugs in Bonham's body. Bonham's remains were cremated, and his ashes were interred on October 12, 1980 in Worcestershire. Despite everything, Led Zeppelin decided to disband in respect of John Bonham. They said in a press release on December 4th, 1980, we wish it to be known that the loss of our dear friend and the deep respect we have for his family, together with the sense of undivided harmony felt by ourselves and our manager, have led us to decide that we can no longer continue as we were. It was signed Led Zeppelin. And that was your entertainment report for Friday, September 25th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Everybody have a great weekend, good night, and God bless you all.